Hello, and welcome to another episode of In the Spotlight, where we shine a light on entrepreneurs, innovators, and SMEs. Today, I'm joined by Julia Chen. Julia is the Chief Financial Officer of a health in tech NASDAQ traded company with over 20 years of global experience leading financial strategy across Fortune 100 companies, capital markets, and fintech innovation. Julia is a powerhouse in both boardrooms and broadcast interviews. I am so honored to have you here today, Julia. Welcome to In the Spotlight.
Thank you for having me, and I appreciate this invitation to be able to speak here. It's my privilege, and I know the spotlight having featured many entrepreneurs and people inspiring, and I'm pleased to be here. And thank you. I'm honored to have a conversation with you.
That's amazing. I do go, my life is ruled by three words: inspiring, educating, and energizing. So I'm also hoping from this conversation, you go away feeling energized for the rest of your day and the rest of your week and beyond.
Thank you. Thank you.
So for our audience, so I work in the facility management industry. So sometimes when we interview industry giants like such as yourself, it could be a completely different industry, but there's learning for everyone that comes from sharing our voice and you sharing your knowledge and experiences in your journey. So we want to start by if you can introduce yourself to our audience and just tell me what inspired you to work in finance and technology and healthcare.
Yeah, thank you. Allow me to share some of the experience and the stories. And I have been CFO for over 20 years, and I started work in the sector of the manufacturers, where is, General Motors, Johnson& Johnson, the Whirlpool. And then I moved to financial institutions like a Citigroup, and I worked there for 14 years in the capacity of the business CFO and the finance. Then I transitioned into the insurance. What inspires me and is the technology. So every transition from one sector to the other sector, I always see the opportunity of technology to reduce the human effort to make life better. So whether it is in the manufacturing setting where the ERP system SAP make the company able to simplify the processes and reduce the cost and improve the production drastically quickly. And then you look at the financial services, it's like a banking. People these days, that's 10 years later, nobody want to go to branch for the simple task. We have mobile check deposit. You take a picture, you can deposit a check. And it just move those manual um, time-consuming tasks to be a simple digital-enabled services.
Right.
So when we look at the insurance company, and it is still a huge sectors that it present 4.5 trillion the healthcare market and 2 trillion the insurance market. It has very little innovation. That is the time for our company to provide a solution and to make things simplify. What inspires us is when we look at the U.S., their small business is about 99% of the business company in half of the GDP, and the middle class, the small business is backbone of the economy, and the insurance cost has been rising. It's very, very difficult to get the insurance care for the healthcare, medical insurance for the employee with very fast solution and affordable cost. So our mission is here to help all the small business, give them a platform, allow them to select the customized plan, adding on the insurance. We use the third-party AI and our technology algorithm. We can produce bindable quotes just about 2 minutes. Think about it today, in the traditional setting, it take about 12 to 14 days just to get the insurance quotes and to get it completed to be sold for the small business.
Wow.
And come to our platform, take just about 2 minutes. So you can see the technology is not replace the human, but it replaced the manual tedious work. So what we did is, broker lovers, they come to our platform, it's free to use. It's no cost. As long as they are registered, licensed broker, they can sell the healthcare insurance product. And then they come to the website and they register with us. They start to do a business.
Yeah.
It's no fees, nothing, and it's free. Once the product, which is a healthcare medical insurance plan, is sold, and everybody gets paid. So because of that mentality, and we continues to grow, so the tech solution um, inspires me, and also it gave people a choice. I think in order to manage the cost, bring the competition is the key, and also give people a choice that inspires people to see what is the better way they can handle their costs, they can handle their various business initiative. That's leading me being here today. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's incredible how your solutions in your platform, I picked up on where you said that everybody wins, and that's really important. Where some companies, the solutions they develop just benefit them, and the person gets left behind. And your solution is all encompassing, and I love that. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you. That's when we started, and you probably our CEO, he said, when he started the company, just himself and the small business owner, and think about how he can manage all the different tasks and reduce the cost.
Yeah.
And eventually he realized, in order to help majority of the business owner, we need the platform. So our platform integrated different solutions. So we qualify every of the vendors, which is essential for healthcare plan, and then we put it on our platform. Just think about it. It's almost like Amazon. You have a shelf and the virtual everything you need for the small business owner to manage their healthcare. It's there. And the
Mm.
same time, we are underwriter for the insurance company. And then we combine these two solutions together. Business owner can get their healthcare insurance plan for the employee just about 2 minutes, because we
Yeah.
know they need the healthcare. We know they need the insurance. We bundle this together, and then we make sure everything they need is already there on our platform. So we have the set menu. I always say to simplify those, as if you go to a restaurant, when
Yeah.
you have set menu, or you have a la carte if really know what you needed to create the plan together. But we also has the plan pre-created. In this way, the business owner, they don't need to worry about what is essential to manage the healthcare insurance for their employees. So they can just focus around their daily business. Additionally, our plans is a little bit cheaper because we have a direct contract with 12,000, 1.9 million clinic, where we can really simplify the process, get a direct contract, have the cost benefits passed to to the employee customer. So this is really exciting, and we've been growing very fast. For the first quarter, we announced our financial result, and we grew 56% year over the year, and near 200% of the profit, which we're looking at, our solution resonates with the market. Today, we're in 41 states, and we have 650 brokers and TPA distribution partner work together with us.
Yeah.
And we have 24,000 households where that is belongs to near 1,000 of the small business. So we're very excited the solution will help the businesses to continue to grow. We also help the insurance company to underwrite the policy simply, easily. Just to have the AI solution and the technology combined, we're able to achieve those efficiencies.
And I absolutely love that, because it's the modern consumers today, it's changed how we consume. it's not just food or products or services like healthcare. And I love the fact that you have everything. It's an end to end, a true end to end solution. In facilities management, just for the audience, it's like the life cycle of a building, and you have all the various things in place during different points in the life cycle of a building, and everything that comes together in that. And your solution is similar to that, in that it's that end to end solution, whatever you want. I love that you describe it as a menu as well, in terms of it being a la carte, or if you want a set meal. That's a great analogy. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, because I know that as part of your career, you've moved and changed from between different companies to get to where you are today. And what was your approach when you decided that it was time to change and move? Did you find that you transferred a lot of your skills across with you? What was it? So for people that are in a position now where, okay, they're ready for a move, they're ready for that next step, and sometimes it's sideways, sometimes it's a promotion. What was your attitude and approach and strategy to elevating and moving yourself into a better position?
That's a great question. Any company I worked for, the first thing is I ask myself, have I learned the maximum of the knowledge in my position? And did I contribute? What else can I do in that position? And then that is the primary drive for me, to look at my own skill set and what I love to do. And through the different position, I realized I'm very good at analyze the situation, create a business solution, also strategically look at the financials and then manage those cash flow and the investment. Honestly, every time I change is because I get bored of the company. I said, yes, make example in city. I joined Citigroup. I worked for 14 years, and I started with the credit card business and the CFO. Then I did the commercial banking, consumer, and regional mortgage business, share margin financing. So I was relocated to US doing global consumer banking, and from the strategy group. Then I went to the US distributions and look at where our profitability can be improved, and removed the branch. And I joined the City FinTech. I was handpicked by CEO and start the force, and we really transformed and how the banking worked today. In the 2016, people still skeptical about take a picture of their check. You think you can deposit check? Is it possible, right? It involved the consumer behavior change, all these. So I would say everybody has their strengths and in the core. In the company, the first thing is in your position, have you maximize your learning? Are you able to contribute? Once you say they are yes, then the next step is what do you really think you're good at to do? Then there are some opportunity present itself, and you just need to take a chance to take that opportunity, as long as that fits your inspirational goal, and do not stop learning. Every work, every position you learn, the past experience accumulate or contribute to your current and the future success, because a lot of things they relating to each other. So the more you learn about and the more you can practice, and the more successful, the chance to be successful you will be likely.
That's great learning, actually. And it does lead on to, has there been any moments when, because my sister-in-law used to do large transition ERP projects, transformation projects, whereas I mobilize and transform buildings. And can you describe a time where you faced a challenge with solutioning, and how did you overcome that? What was your mindset, and how did you overcome that challenge?
Well, first I would say every job has a challenge. Challenge is default, right? So many people just think about, "Oh, why this happened." Any given position job, they are particular challenge. And the challenge is relatively to your individuals. So, it can be challenging to me. The same thing can be nothing to the other person. So everything is how our mind sees it and how our skill set to tackle that issue. So we have to sometimes I look at this issue, I need to step back and take myself remove from the issue and to see what can be done differently and how can I approach this to solve that. And also talk to the people who I believe they are functional expert to help me to be humble and also to have open mind to see what other solution can be. Nothing is one straight line and nothing is one size fit. Different things have a different, solution. It's just about to not get too much emotional. A lot of time people get emotional, the anxiety overtake them and crowd their mind, right? So, to calm down and to see what is the worst case, right? So I love to do this worst case scenario. So what is worst case on this situation? Do I have a plan for worst case? When I have worked out the plan for worst case, everything then worse is better. So I just think, again, challenge is relative. So do not think the challenge, it cannot be overcome and you will find a solution. You just need um, talk to different people and calm down your mind and look at the things from a different angle. Sometimes time will present itself and the solution will be there.
Yeah. That's some really great advice for our listeners, Julia. And, sometimes people can be a bit shy, especially in quite senior positions. Not shy, afraid of how they might look by asking for help, but it's actually the opposite. You're a stronger person, no matter what your position, for reaching out and having other great minds support you with solving that problem.
Yes, no matter how senior the position, how high the position the person is, they will find their peer, they will find the mentor, they will find the people around them, right? So it is really about, are you able to have the support ecosystem? Are you able to open up and to be there for other people as well? Once you be there, you have friends, you have a mentor, and it's a lot of things. It's not just dealing around. Even sometimes you feel lonely on certain situation. For us, we are public traded company. A lot of things I cannot openly discuss with my friends or my mentor because it's not public information.
Yeah.
With a lot of different experience, we look at the things differently. You're still able to, with your sector expert, have a different people get involved with different tasks to help you to finish whatever is the challenging part. I think that it's important to know you can always make new friends. You will always looking for the expert wherever on the different contexts. And if you don't branch out, you will be only there trying to solve it. It's a lot of times, I'm solve the issue without talking to anybody. It just need to think through, write down what is the worst case scenario, what I think
Yeah.
will happen. Sometimes we're saying you have to look at the 3 or 4 steps ahead you. You cannot just so caught up day to day, do not see what is your near future. So you have to see that. As the CFO, I have to see more of what happens a few months ahead of me in order to manage the cash flow, in order to manage the project investment and all other large deals we've been talking about. But really, it's the skill not come lightly or easily. It's cumulative by the experience and all the functional expert and all the ability you have is come from the prior experience. Every experience is a great experience. Whether it's failure, whether it's success, it's built on who you are today. That's what I would say.
I completely resonate with what you're saying there, and thank you for being giving so freely with your knowledge. Just a bit around advice. What's the best piece of advice that you've ever received during your career?
That would be never give up your dream. So in my career, you know, we are often in the various setting and in various sectors. I started my career from join Whirlpool. Asia at the time, and then we managed the manufacturing of the product outsource. And then, you know, I was very junior graduate of from school. I wasn't sure that is the job I want to do. You know, instead of just staying there, continues to do the work was great. Compensation was great to travel globally, but I just don't feel that's something I like to do.
Yeah.
And then, my mentor at the time saying, just to continue to pursue your dream. Don't give up. And if you do not even know what exactly your dream is, but keep thinking about it, keep asking yourself knows better. So that was the best advice I ever received because I don't settle for comfort. If my heart is not calling, if I do not like to do, and absolutely look for change, I'm absolutely to pursue my dream. And that is the advice I will give to anybody, whatever situation they are, and never stop pursue your dream. You will be happier, you will be more successful because you know what you like to do and you should do what you like.
That is so true. Love that. I absolutely love that because in terms of inspiring others as well, when people also, I think with dreams, people think that they're so far away from where they actually are as well. Sometimes the key is to just keep going with what they're doing if it moves them towards their dream. And it might be something different, but I really resonate with what you're saying there. Now, I've got this running question going, and the answers that come back are tend to be quite different, but really,
Okay.
really interesting. So
Okay.
this question is about how do you maintain work-life balance, especially with the demands of your role?
That's interesting. First of all, I think work and life is all together. And because this is a part of also to do with the dream part I'm talking about, you should do what you like to do because in order to be successful, put a lot of hours. If you don't love what you do, it's become very, very difficult task. Right. So, and I appreciate very high quality time. And that's why when I spend the time with my family and spend high quality time, also I continues to work, but I would tell my family clearly, say, look, I cannot just not reachable for the time I'm taking vacation. And I'm absolutely commit to them. I'm not looking at my phone when we have a meal together. There's certain time I go back to hotel in that is hour I check my email. So I separate them the time I have high quality time with my family. But meantime, I also made it very clear, hey, that's my company I work for, and I need to, dedicate my time as well. But I'm not going to be not there. So I want to be there for family. I want to be there for the company. So I have the rule of not checking my phone, answer, the email, these things when I have a meal with my family or I'm watching a movie. I just completely just put my phone do not disturb, right? So just like now the interview I do, I just completely spend the time to be there. That's important. I think the quality of time is not the length of the time. And, we will go for vacation and absolutely committed vacation 2 times a year. But people even don't know I'm going vacation. Why I'm continuous reachable and by the email work, but I have designated time. I do certain things. That's why I say, it's both very, very important, your family and your career. You do not need to divide them. As long as you work out the way and then you waved in is a part of your life.
Yeah, you're so right, and I get a different answer every time because we're human beings and we all have different lives, all different families, different commitments. And I had a lady that talked about she's into biotech, homes and harmonies. So she called it work life harmony, and I really liked your answer. I had the tally going with work life balance versus harmony, and harmony was literally here and balance was actually here. I think that term in the future is going to disappear because it's not going to exist anymore.
It is integrated part of your 24-hour. It's part of your time. It's part of your life. It's not choose as if you have to choose your family or your career. No, they are both important. You don't need to choose, and you just need work your best schedule and work things together. The most important is you need to be there. A lot of people physically be there, their mind is not there, they're absent, they're not involved. That's why I'm very emphasis on the quality when you spend the time with the family and you spend the time at work. Sometimes people at work, their mind is not there, not efficient, right? So it's not about the length of the time, it's about effectiveness, it's about the devotion, it's about, how good you manage your time and your passion, the family, everything. It's a part of life.
It's so true. I'm going to ask you about innovation now. You talked a bit earlier about the company and how you use the technology to create that life cycle for insurance and the different products. But then how do you foster a culture of innovation within the organization?
We would say innovation is mother of necessity, right? So this is when we look at, we always come from customer lens. What can we do? Make things simple, easier, better. And we have so many different benchmark of today. The consumer behavior changed in the way everybody just want fast gratitude. So I want to click the button to get the things done. I want to be easier. So people have this habit or behavior change by using the digital enabled solution, whether they watch something over their phone, they shopping on the e-commerce and they expecting something come tomorrow on the doorstep. The same thing is we're looking at as our company, for our customers, small business, what can we do to make things fast and simple, easy for them? And we also benchmark not only our sector, but outside our sectors. We look at the mortgage business, how they underwrite the mortgage. We look at the credit card business, how they offer. We look at e-commerce, how people simply just do a click. So in our system, we have buy button. It's like, hey, you want to do that? You buy it, you click, you bought it, right? So these are little things, we have to have a technology enable that. It really is come from the consumer and come from what we think the customer will use it, make a customer experience better, make things easier, and then also help them to manage their cost. That's the key essence. We want to create a solution, use the technology.
Yeah. It's quite interesting because as you were explaining that, in my mind, have you ever had, in terms of solutions and innovation, a moment, we call them, like light bulb moments? And what was it for you?
I think that that is pretty much the AI, a whole moment. Right. So we start with all this machine learning and the data algorithm and, try to have things tasked to get simplified easier.
Yeah.
And once Chat GTP started and, more and more people using it, and we are able to, the aha moment is now there are so many AI company on the market. We are able to work with them at the benefit. We are benefit from them. And then we say, in past, if we were to build this solution on our own, it costs us millions dollars. Now this is mushroomed by force of the rich capital, and there's every, other weeks and every other month, there's a company being born and have a solution. It's a aha moment of the tipping point of there are so many choices for us. And the things get cheaper, things get faster. And we have a lot of tool in our toolbox. That is the really, I would not think about just a year ago how many AI company on the market. That's the aha moment for us.
I actually love the fact that, oh, I was saying to someone that the other day, like there's an AI for that. So now it's getting to the point where anything that you think of, there's this website actually called There's an AI for that. And there's a whole list. You're so right. It's more a case of what's now going to fit our business to stay innovative rather than we can't find something to solution and take us to the next level. So you're absolutely right. Okay, I'm going to dig into some personal things now. Is there a book, podcast, or a resource that's been really influential during your career in your life?
It's through the different career stage. There's always different book, and you start from the graduate. It's more a lot of the book about inspiring the young graduates how they look at their career. Like Kennedy, they have a lot of different book. It's mainly about educational, and then the move forward is more about the biologic book. I love the book talk about Elon Musk or Steve Jobs and those entrepreneurs how they really build their company. And then I would really suggest to people to read what excellent book about Elon Musk and Steve Jobs. It's a very good biography book and inspiring people and looking at how difficult their time were and they built the company. But lately, I've been listening all in podcast where they talk about the very recent phenomenon, the market, and they talk about the policy, talk about economics. So it's really, it's not only one book. I would say, by your experience, the career change, the focus change, and there will be always something there to help you to be connected to the market. My job today, I need absolutely synchronizing with the market, what's going on, the policy, the administration, the geopolitical, all those news. It's affects the company, our customer, everything else we do. So I'm much more connected just on the Bloomberg News and the CNBC under the latest economic policy. But I'm sure everybody will find, and their different stage in the different time, they will find a different book for them.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. So, what's the next 5 years look like for you, Julia?
So I think that's a that's great question. So the next 5 years, we were looking at our company will continue to grow, and we should be $1 billion company where we already grow 56%. We will reach most of small business owners in the market. We will be the solution and talking to them. And I'm very excited to see how the journey ahead of us. We are just starting. We are just starting. When we look at the U.S. economy is the largest in the world, and we look at the middle class, we look at the small business, they are backbone of the economy. So anything we can do, be part of it to give a solution to help them, it's going to be enormous opportunity, and it's going to be make a huge impact to the society, make a huge impact to, we will touch many of humans life and many of the working families. So think about the healthcare cost. Who is not anxious about the cost keep increasing? Who is not complaining about what's going on, frustrated of lack of transparency? We want to bring the transparency. We want to consumer have option. The only way to reduce the cost is bring the competition. So it's being transparent. It's educate our consumer. It's let the business have a choice. It's all about the choice. We want to give them a choice. We want to be there for them, for a platform they can choose for. So by doing that, we are able to leading to a better life for our company and for all our business customers. So I'm very excited, and I think next 5 years is going to be great.
I absolutely love that. And my mind boggles just at the thought of what the technology AI space is going to be doing in 5 years. Can you imagine?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I think the machine is going to take over most of the repetitive work, right? So the human interaction will be much, much more important. I would imagine, we would no longer just want to do a video call, but we want to be there in person, right? Because those experiences will be much vital and the human connection, not only just on the video. We know these days, podcast that somebody can put avatar and things. And I truly believe the human need a connection. So it will be interesting. Look at the job will change, the skill set will change, and the computer, the machine will be just the tool make our life better.
If you had AI 10 years ago, do you think where you are today would be different?
Definitely. And I can say if I have AI 10 years ago, I would save a lot of time not typing in the writing, the documentation or procedures. I would be just to make editing. So I would reduce at least 80 or 90% of my time to be efficient. Also, the life could be a different in the way we look at the how the choices is, because now research and the search is much easier. AI has a much more faster response and give you comparison, give you different solution. And when we look at the manufacturing setting, and you can see there's robotics, AI is driven, data driven. So I have a Tesla, I still not comfortable to turn on just the self-drive mode yet, but many of my friends does that. And I contributed to the data part of, they can analyze my driving behavior. It's just amazing how the life improved, changed. Look at this context. Yes, I truly believe it will change our life for better.
It's very, very exciting. Because you have the self-drive over in the US now, don't you? It
We
hasn't
do,
really it
yes.
hasn't really come to the UK yet, only in a couple of cars, but the actual self-drive where you're in a passenger in the car and the car is just driving itself. You do have that
Yes.
now.
Yes, we have, I think, West Coast and San Francisco, and you can have robo taxi. So you still need to sit on the driver's seat, but you don't need to drive. And the Tesla, same thing. You have self-drive mode, and you don't need to drive. You sit the driver's seat, and it's amazing feature. And to be honest, I have not tested. Most of my friends tried. They love it, especially for the night when it's very dim light or that's, the bad weather. They cannot see well. That's why they're using it. For me, thank God, I'm still can see pretty well. So, and I have not tried it, and I'm excited for a year to come and start to see how the self-drive mode and will help.
How it develops. Okay, so we've really come nearly to the top of our time. Are there any final words of wisdom or encouragement for our audience?
I will share my inspirational code, and it has been always there, lead me. That is just the never give up your dream and just pursue your inner calling. And no matter what you want to do, as long as you're happy.
Thank you so much, Julia. This has been another episode of In the Spotlight with Julia Chen, and we've heard about the amazing company and all. I'm so excited for your future. I really am. And the consumers that get a really hard. It's hard for them right now. So having a company such as your own that provides a solution that thinks about them first, it's and help them to succeed with what the products and things that they're doing is absolutely incredible. Julia, I just want to thank you so much for your time today and for being here with me in the spotlight.
Thank you for having me. It's my privilege to be here and to talk to your audience. And thank you. Wish you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.